Drinks. Name choice. It's broadcast. All right, so it's alien disclosure. So we're going to go into some of the Star Trek stuff, whatever I can remember, from the original series to I don't know, bring some memories back. Some kind of let's see where it goes. Just some points of view. I just before I didn't feel like putting much into it, but now it seems to be the time for some bizarre reason. I'm not sure why, but and also McDonald's, just for the sake of the Illuminati, McDonald's. You can't. You can only do so much alien disclosure where you don't really have a whole lot of proof. I mean, you do. We don't exactly have an alien ship landing. It's like, and that'd be nice. So McDonald's energy to tap into that for, it does have kind of a grip over society. I'm not going to go too deep into that one, but just a little bit, just some stuff because some people have dreams of McDonald's, messing with people. So that's the reason I bring it up. And the crystal caves. I don't have a specific crystal cave because I don't have the energy to go into that, but I just tap into that vibration. I can show some of it I found, but there's one I'm looking for, but I haven't found it yet. I'm not sure if I'll ever find it. So I don't know. It doesn't really matter. So Star Trek stuff is going to be kind of interesting. Just to give a different perspective. I think Star Trek, the original series, it feels like it was probably putting too much out there. It was doing it. It got the creators of it got tired of it. At least not the main creator, but the others just wanted to close it out. But it said what it had to say. Let's put it that way. So it was a little bit ahead of its time, or a lot ahead of its time. So it was during the 60s, which is a good time for something like that. Okay, first I'm talking about comic prep sessions. Schedule. I have a shop here. I'm in beginning of May somewhere. Same situation here. We have the webinar, social network, and behind the scenes. And then, so actually I want to start here. This one is just interesting because a captain goes nuts. This is an Omega Gory. This is season 2, I believe. Yeah, a captain of an old ship takes over, is influenced by a world, which I can definitely see that. I mean, they're just connecting to memories, and obviously they're doing it from a fictional point of view. And this, so that one's, for your going to your awakening, it can look back at some. I mean, this stuff looks cheesy for a reason, looks cartoonish, and that's probably a good thing because it can get a little too real for some people. They can start remembering stuff, and I think it can mess people up actually. So if it's too real, so when it's all corny and all this, it's probably a good thing. And this one's actually a good one too. This is, I think this is. I just saw this was such forgot about this one. Yeah, this is like what I think this is the first one this is a really good one. This is when I forget what this guy's name. Anyway, he becomes like a god. One of the people gets possessed and he becomes like a god, and just looks at people like they're on the ship. He looks at them like they're rats or mice and doesn't really care about any of them. A lot of our spirit guides are like that. Our spirit guides can be very arrogant. Our spirit guides can even try to kill us too. I know that's like taking it to a whole nother level, but you'd be surprised. Because they think that we're inferior to them. And these are aliens. Think about, So, I mean, I believe we actually battle our guides like this too in astral. We don't get along with them. So, you'd be surprised how bizarre it gets in the astral. So this, and they think this is like the one of the first episodes of Star Trek. This one's pretty deep. And they did just go all the way. Even in the motion picture, they tap into this a little bit, but not as heavy as this one though. So, but Omega, this is that's not it. Yeah, and Omega is an interesting one because it's just about a regular captain taking over or influenced by a planet. Of course, you have this one. This one's interesting because these people are these alien beings are roaming. They take over the ship, but they can't see them. The ship can't see these people. They're just, they're trying to take it over, and they bring Kirk in to, I guess to reproduce or something like that. I can't remember the whole story of it. But so they're trying to figure out how to speed themselves up. So it's interesting because the people on the ship are frozen because they're going too fast. Kirk and this alien chick are going too fast. So it's a different. This is like in the third season where they said the third season's kind of lazy and everything, but actually they're putting stuff in there that's pretty. It will put in little pieces in there, that's for sure. So. And what is this? Oh yeah, this is one where he gets switched over. He switches over to a woman. Kirk does, and that's pretty messed up. Which I believe does happen in some places in the universe. That's something to be proud of. But yeah, where they switched their soul switched bodies, and on an acting, Kirk, doing William Shatner probably had a blast doing that, but it might not be the most entertaining episode, but it does have, because it gets boring. They do the whole trial thing, which is kind of stupid. But the whole thing about them switching bodies is pretty interesting, which, imagine people start remembering that. And this one, I can't remember the full details of this one, but it's basically, these are kind of like godlike beings. They turn people into these, they just don't give a shit about human life, basically. Turn them into these little objects here. But then they slowly become human. Start getting jealous, and they start getting, that's a big theme of aliens with no compassion, very powerful connections, but then they become human, and then they find their vulnerabilities. So that's a big theme with this series. It was one of the themes of this series. So unless they're talking to like Native Americans that are on another planet, which is pretty funny. But that's what's happening now. All these alien beings are connecting to us, and they have to kind of, I won't call it dumbing themselves down, but they have, they start becoming human. They become like us. So it's not that far fetched. That's happening now. Obviously, I don't think the aliens like talking about those type of things. Anyway, so real quick, the McDonald's situation. Not that's the movie, but anyway, the McDonald's thing is this is like the mastermind behind it, and so the cabal slowly took it over, basically. They found a good idea. Of course, he's the one that found the idea. You can say he's an elitist to a certain level. I mean, I feel like he just opened up a reality dimension. He figured things out. Let's put it that way. He was later in life, but then the elite took over. And now it's the wonderfulness it is today. Poisoning everybody, and we're just loving every minute of it. So I have to go. So this is the mastermind behind that part, at least the takeover of it. So and he does have he has Jewish connections and all that. Not to go against Jews or anything, but either way, the elite took over. It's like they're doing it with Disney, basically. So there's something there. There's something to it. So And the mines here, let's see, Missouri is one. There's another mine I'm looking for, but the crystals. All these places have reptilian energies. Yeah, ant people, reptilians, a lot of madness, basically. These are where a lot of the reptilians hide. These are some of the places they go to. So yeah, and they're currently a lot of these places are definitely they're getting their energy from there. Obviously, I don't want you going down there and looking for them. They're not gonna like that. Good. Let's see here. I don't know if this will show anything. Yeah, especially in New Mexico, a lot of the stronger reptilian energies is definitely in New Mexico, no doubt about it. Even if this is public, they're still there. Mostly at night is when I don't think they actually physically come out. Well, they could, but yeah, I mean, it looks like a reptilian cave. So this shows their blueprint, their imprint, their footprint that's here. Some people might have, I don't know. I heard that people have known. If people actually saw, I mean, people can connect to it astrally, spiritually, but yeah, if they actually seen them physically, maybe around Utah, possibly. Interesting. I'm getting the energy of, was it Yucca? Yucca Mountain. This is where they did put a lot of waste, I think, there. Yeah. No surprise there. If you're looking for reptilians, they're here. Nevada test site. Yeah, so if you're riding your bike and you're in that area, first of all, good luck on getting in there. Yeah, that's like Reptilian Avenue. I don't know what the hell that is, but this is where these little suckers are. I don't know what that is. Waste, yeah, waste depository. Yeah, I talked about this before. There's definitely reptilians, all of this, all through Greys, reptilians. The rumors are true. It looks very reptilian. Gee, it doesn't look like a place. It doesn't look like a friendly place, does it? Yeah, this is how they're manipulating our reality and putting this crap here. So that's the thing. I mean, you heard raise the vibration, but look, they've anchored their energy here. And of course, humanity looks the other way for obvious reasons, but there's a lot of manipulation going on there, obviously, right? So no surprise. Yeah, so take your vacation, Yucca, Yucca, what's it called? Yucca something, Yucca Mountain, yeah. Nevada test site. See if we can, we'll have our next convention there. Shit. Yeah. Well, it actually is a tourist site. So, lovely. Let me write that down, actually. Okay, so the Star Trek stuff, I don't know if people are ready for all. I know some people are like really advanced and everything. That might be not their thing, but they're putting little nuggets out there that if people tune into that stuff, like really tune into it, it might not be the best memories there, because some of it might be, but some of it probably isn't. I mean, they're making it all cheesy and everything. Even the modern Star Trek is, I don't know, just I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing anymore. I don't think they know what they're doing. Just confusing everybody. All right, so we're going to alien disclosure energies, and I might tap into that captain that was connecting to that planet. I think that's an interesting one. Yeah, give you a perspective of that. Yeah, give you a perspective of the secret space program somewhere, wherever. Like they get influenced in different cultures and things like that. At least to give you a perspective of it. and maybe even in perspective of our government and how they're covering everything up. I mean, not that it's going to help much. 'Cause we're just in a, us humanity just wants to know, but they aren't interested. So, who knows? So, okay, all right, we'll connect to going to. Let's see what we got here. All right, it's channel McDonald's a little bit. The crystal cave, definitely. Crystal cave frequencies that do more positive energy, but also look at from different perspectives of it. So, all right, blessings. Greetings. Greetings. There are always different perspectives of consciousness. There are, say, alien life forms that don't want to disclose themselves here. There is a lot of lives lost in space. That humans here are so focused on this reality, which is good because it's an anchor, but there are other beings that are going through a great deal of self-development. As a captain of a ship, and it's another form of soul growth, basically, to use your power over others, especially primitive societies, and to use them against each other, and basically turn yourself into a god, which does happen often. There are spirits. People aren't aware of their spirit guide frequencies. They're not always trusting it or aware of it. They want to sugarcoat a lot of it because they have a way of looking at it, and that's their picture. They picture it, and they hang it on a wall of how they think it looks. But there's a deeper aspect of it where some people don't have that picture as spirit guide frequency around them. Yeah, some people actually have demonic beings around them and don't even know it. Then they wonder why they have all these dark, tendencies. So there are some that are still struggling with themselves. Yes, and some people are fighting with their guides and become more aware of that. Yes, it can turn into a Star Trek episode in astral. Yes, you can also fire your guides or shoot your guides for that. You'd be surprised. There are fights that happen in the astral plane. And yeah, it's a little bit difficult for some to accept. Well, as you get more complicated with your spiritual knowledge, it becomes more clear. Yeah, some guides can be very snarky, very arrogant. Well, until the human here, starts to look at things more differently, because they can have a picturesque viewpoint, and that's fine, but it doesn't mean you're seeing the full picture of what's around you. Of course, it's on a spiritual level, and many are not ready to tap into those different levels. Think of like your spiritual level can be on level 1, level 2, level 3. Like you take an elevator you get to the 13th floor of your level, it can get very strange there. So, and some of you have already been there, and you might not like what you've seen. That your spirit team isn't always for you; they're actually sometimes against you, but it's also pushing you to, be who you are. Some can be bullies. For alien disclosure, from an outsider's perspective, obviously your government is not for you; it's more against you, as you can see. But they're for themselves. They're delivering for themselves. So they're just giving your UFO knowledge, unless they can create an agenda where they can profit off of it. It's all about profit, as many of you know that. It's more degrading than you might think. Yeah, how can they make money off of this whole UFO phenomenon, even if they don't quite understand it, or they're not supposed to understand it? So governments are always looking for a way of making a penny. So at least in your, some are very spiritually connected, and then they're healing the energies there. They're fighting the wars, you can say, within like a certain government situations that are in. But as a captain of a ship that you where you become selfish and want to absorb the energies of others, some of you might start remembering either being that person or on a ship where that has happened. Doesn't mean everyone's had that occur. A lot of your Star Trek influences come from Andromeda. So Andromeda is Palladian connections, also Andromeda. Andromedan beings can be very advanced. So where you're a captain of a ship with very powerful psychic abilities, you can manipulate other worlds, which is just heard of. Like, why would you even do such a thing? But it does happen, and they can sneak it in. I mean, you can be on your missions and travel throughout space, and nobody on your ship has any idea they're manipulating other realities until eventually they figure it out. Or as you just become weaker, where they can read your mind more clearly. So it's just levels of consciousness that where humans are at the sun. How much do you want to know? Yes, you go to the bar, get some drinks, and that's fine because you need that, because the reality that's out in your space is, yes, complicated, as many of you know. So you bring the complications, it's already here. That's this world is not safe, but the universe isn't safe either. You're just becoming more aware of it. Yeah, you're becoming more aware of how your world is influenced by the universe itself. So is the universe your friend? There are places that are and places that are not. So you're seeing it here on a human level. So yes, some beings are, yes, very powerful, intellectually, just spiritually powerful, and as arrogant as you can get. And they do call themselves positive. And not to say they aren't, but they can also be very devilish at the same time, but also justify their devilish sides. So yeah, and they do keep their karma in check, their power. They know how to be powerful and vicious at the same time. Reptilians aren't that known for that. Andromedans can do that, actually. There are other beings that can do it. Andromedans are known for that also. So it's just we're all learning from each other, aren't we? We are going to the next level of understanding your universe. You have to have a universal language, not just galactic language, but literally understanding how the universe works. And it's not as welcoming as some of you might think. Yes, this world is seen as an infant world or a childish world. Yes and no. But you're dealing with adult situations on a galactic level, college level, actually. It's just you're not aware of where this is all coming from. Obviously, society is blocking it out through manipulation. With those that are controlling your reality don't want you to know about yourselves, obviously. Well, because then it's like the Wizard of Oz, they get exposed. They don't want that. So, this is... Grease you. It's the consciousness of, yes, McDonald's, just for a moment, of the elite's energy with that is to take energy from people. Food is taking energy from people, lowering their frequencies, as you know. Actually, a lot of insectoid beings are involved with that. Get them through the food. They've been doing that through history, but this is quite different. So your food has been weaponized. They also had to bring other alien beings who know how to do that. So it's done on a level that obviously on a human level is like you don't understand, but one day you will. One day McDonald's will be kicked off this planet. Even if it tries to be healthy, it's still a manipulation. Just the energy of it alone is you're basically being invaded by other beings from other planets that are not exactly here to help you. So, but of course, your collective is, well, for some it's healing, even if it isn't exactly the most healing. Well, also that food is used for as an exit, to poison their bodies and eventually they'll leave the world. So it does have exit point values. That's one of the reasons why it's here too. So, blessings. Grease you. We are crystal beings. Yes, the reptilians connect with us to actually keep themselves alive. Well, some of them get such a low frequency, they go there to nature themselves, kind of like the med bed situation, as you heard. They go to the crystal caves. Now, obviously, there are many positive reptilian beings, but a lot of them, the positive ones, created a lot of these caves during the time of Atlantis. They're involved with the vibrations that basically help formulating your world. Basically, connected to Mother Earth's frequency and be involved with a lot of the Earth changes of your past. So, and a lot of the negative reptilian beings just go to Earth to heal. Yeah, they cause all kinds of mayhem on your planet, as you can see. A lot of them are Orion beings, but they're programmed to do. Reptilian beings are programmed to do what they're doing on your world. And do they want to expose themselves? Yes and no. They want to see if you'll figure them out. See, if you figure them out, where you start seeing them more clearly, they can't do anything about that. But if you just want them to show themselves, which they're not going to do, but you can figure out their riddle. Not the easiest thing. Obviously, it can drive you crazy at the same time. But some of you, possibly, even like through drawings, little by little, you can just, they don't want to be exposed, so they make it harder. But in your awakening, most likely you'll find some way for them to be seen when the time is right. So basically, little by little in your own timeline, you can unlock them from their hiding places. The caves are one place. Basically, if you have a cave near you, if you want to connect to the vibrations of it, realize the reptilian beings are still there. There are good ones and there are bad ones. The bad ones there go there. Yes, they call themselves the bad ones. Well, obviously, they don't have the best outlook on humanity. Well, some of them feel like humanity deserves all of this pain because it's agreeing to it. Now, obviously, not everybody's agreeing to it, but they don't really have much sympathy because your society is allowing all this to occur. It's not changing things. So they enforce it, but society is not wanting to unenforce it. Some of you are, but your numbers are small. So, I mean, yes, the galactic knowledge, obviously, there are many people in the government, obviously, at a higher level, take all this very seriously. But the rest of the government has no idea to just say, oh, I don't know. Look at Tic Tac ship. Some of them are briefed that there is secret operations that are classified and they're not allowed to know anything. There's a lot of that going on. So even if you think they know something, a lot of your government officials, they really don't know anything. There are some that do, but obviously they're not the ones that go to those hearings. But part of it is to see where people are. You can see different points of view of all of this. With the crystal caves, you can yes, go to these places to heal for sure. Yucca Mountain is where a lot of the negative reptilians are. Building technologies that are not healthy for humanity. There's a lot of gray bases there also. It's worse than Dulce there, actually. It's off limits to the public for a reason, for your own good. Uh, if you go to those places, yeah, expect a lot of nightmares. I mean, it's protected from humanity for a reason, but it can be disclosed one day to you. Well, technically, this is a disclosure, but obviously not opening up the doors for you to visit. But it is a heavy place of disclosure for sure.